Eddie, I'll start with you on this one. We've worked so many big shows together, so many big press conferences. Every single time we do a big press conference, we say this is the greatest fight card we've ever seen. This is, again, another incredible fight card.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie, and welcome everyone here today. I think since we've met His Excellency and we've seen this incredible golden era for boxing, I've lost count of the amount of times I've said, this is the best card I've ever seen. We have to understand that this is a Riyadh season event in America. And I think that's really important to note, because the power shift of major fights, of course, have been travelling to Riyadh. Of course, with the Battle of the Baddest, as you said, with Tyson Fury against Francis Ngannou, the Day of Reckoning, which was a groundbreaking event, Joshua against Ngannou, the undisputed heavyweight world championship coming up on May the 18th, and just 2 weeks later, arguably the best fight in boxing, Artur Beterbiev against Dmitry Bivol and the 5v5. But one thing I've noticed about His Excellency is he reads and he listens to the fans, and I think a lot of fans have said, these big fights, they're always in Saudi Arabia now, and don't forget the UK, don't forget the US, and of course the talks of a major event for Riyadh season at Wembley Stadium, and now in Los Angeles on August 3rd, I have to say, the best card I've ever seen in US boxing. I mean, when you talk about Terence Crawford, the pound-for-pound #1, trying to establish himself as a 4-time world champion, in itself, that is a huge pay-per-view event against Israel Madrimov, the fierce Uzbek world champion. But then you look across the card, and you look to my right and left, and there's so many elite fighters. Isaac Cruz, I think one of the most entertaining fighters on the planet. Jose Valenzuela, that is going to be an all-out war. The big heavyweights, Andy Ruiz, one of our favourites against Jarrell Miller. These guys have got plenty of history across the heavyweight division. David Morrell, who I think is one of the best fighters in the world today. Andy Cruz, a fellow Cuban. And of course, don't forget as well, Tim Tszyu against Virgil Ortiz. I think one of the best fights you could possibly make in boxing. And it's a culmination, again, of all the leading promoters in the world. You know, in the last 48 hours, you've seen all those promoters come together to make this card. The politics have been eradicated. The relationships have been eradicated. And His Excellency has said, I just want to deliver great fights. And on August the 3rd at the BMO Stadium in Los Angeles, you are going to get an event you will never forget. I think the greatest fight card the US has ever seen. And again, thank you to everybody involved. And of course, this Riyadh season card in America is going to be incredible. His Excellency, thank you for your vision. Thank you for your investment in the sport. But, you know, most of all, thank you for just lighting up this sport, taking the politics away, making all these promotional companies work together and give fight fans exactly what they want. This is a golden era for the sport of boxing, and we're loving every minute of it.
Thanks, Eddie. I want to go to the man to your right, Sean Gibbons. Sean, we've spoken so much about not just Isaac Cruz that you have, right, the pit bull that everyone's scared of, but just other fighters you have in your stable. But focusing on the world champion to your right, just how special could he be? How special is he now?
Hello. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. First, I'd like to thank a few people. I'd like to thank Al Heyman of PBC Boxing, His Excellency for coming together with this vision, Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Eddie Hearn, our co-promoter, Tom Brown, our promoter, Manny Pacquiao, and seller director, Dr. Rakan. Sorry, my voice is a little hoarse. He's always yelling at Isak in his fights. But when you're doing a card in Los Angeles, it doesn't get any bigger than the new face of boxing, Isak Pitbull Cruz, and of course Andy Ruiz. You know, when Isak won his world title against Rolly Romero, it's kind of been like Beatlemania, in the sense that it's a Pitbull mania, though. And you know, to do a card in Los Angeles and to have Isak Cruz on the card, it's phenomenal. And his opponent, Jose Valenzuela, it's a can't miss, all action, Mexican style fight. That the type of fights the fans want to come out and see.
Thanks, Sean. Thank you very much, and well done for going with the voice as well, Sean. Chris de Blasio is there. Chris, obviously here representing Salita Promotions. Chris, just how big is it for Salita Promotions to be involved in what Eddie Hearn is saying is the biggest card we've seen in America, maybe ever?
Thank you, Andy. Yes, incredibly thankful and grateful on behalf of Salita Promotions to be part of this event, Riyadh season and the debut in the U.S. Very exciting fight card for sure. Dimitri Salita couldn't be with us today as he is observing the Passover holiday, so I'm here to represent for him and thank on his behalf and behalf of Salita Promotions His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh and Dr. Rakan. Salita Promotions is thrilled to be part and thankful to be part of this event, which is shaping up to be like the United Nations of boxing. In the often segmented and very competitive sport of boxing, it's great to see so many promoters, managers, and fighters come together to put on a monster fight card like this, and we couldn't be more proud to be part of it. For Jarrell Miller, this fight represents a shot at redemption, an opportunity to reset his position as a contender for a heavyweight world title. And I think it's only fitting that he does so against the man in Andy Ruiz, who is also looking to reset himself for a shot at a heavyweight world championship. There's high stakes in this heavyweight fight for sure. There's high stakes up and down this card, and I know we all can't wait for August 3rd.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Chris.
you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. I want to speak to this man here, a man that I've stalked and followed for years. He's put on some of the biggest fight cards that we've seen, Louis de Cubas. Louis, you've been there, you've done it all, you've seen it all. Just how different is this for you?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Mr. Al Heyman, PBC, and Dr. Rakan, and Turkey. To me, it's unbelievable the involvement of Carl in this with so many great fighters. It's great to, everybody's working together, make the best fights happen. And, it's great. I was just in Saudi. It's a great place to go. I was there with Frank Sanchez's last fight. They treated me unbelievably. They're great people. And it's great they're coming in and making the best fights happen. So, it's great for boxing. And now with the David Morrell situation, we'll be able to prove who the best light heavyweight in the world is after all clears out.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Louis. All right, let's start hearing from the fighters, right? That's who you guys have come to hear from. I want to start with former unified heavyweight champion of the world, Andy Ruiz. Andy, with these events in Saudi, everyone's been continually asking me, where's Andy Ruiz? All the other heavyweights were there, you weren't there. You're back now. Is the aim, obviously, if you get past Jarrell Miller, to go again for a world heavyweight title?
Yes, sir. I'm just super happy to be back, man. I spent a year and 8 months not doing nothing, and a lot of ups and downs, a lot of roller coasters, life. But I'm glad that God gave me another opportunity. Everybody that's involved in this big, amazing card and August 3rd in Los Angeles, I thank them so much too. And I'm ready to rock and roll, man. August 3rd is going to be the return of Andy Ruiz and the consistent Andy Ruiz, the focused Andy Ruiz, and I just can't wait to get back in there.
What type of challenge do you think Jarrell Miller brings to the table?
Jarrell brings a lot of challenges, He's big. He likes to smother his opponents. He likes to bang it out in there. He's not an easy opponent. He's not just a guy that I'm going to walk him out and win easy. I got to stay focused. I got to be prepared, and I got to do what I do best and win my fights.
Let's welcome in big baby Jarrell Miller. Jarrell, this is your city. We're in New York. Jarrell, obviously, look, defeat last time out against Daniel Dubois. How has that changed you mentally and preparation for this one?
There's so much that was going on before that fight. And just having 3.5 full weeks to prepare for Daniel Dubois was not the ideal moment. But I took a chance because I know it put me back into the position I wanted to be in. It was a great card. Shout out to Turkey, His Excellency, and all my brothers out there. Assalamu alaikum. It was a lot of BS going on around that fight. Signing a contract, finally signing a contract 2 weeks before the fight. My own co-promoter, Sleeta, suing me for $5 million for two weeks before the fight. Couldn't get camp together, couldn't get training funds together. It was a lot of BS. And, as a fighter, we're risking our life in there, and we just want to focus on do our job. And then when you have people in your back that's constantly, nagging you and aching you, it's hard to do that job, and like I said, I had Dubois out of there, but mentally I just clocked out in the 5th or 6th round. Dubois didn't hurt me. He didn't beat me, I beat myself. And even Turkey said it to me after the fight. He's like, I want you back. Dubois didn't beat you. You beat yourself. And it hurts because I'm a person that wears my pride on my shoulders. You know, I come to kill, I come to hurt, I come to fight. You know, and for me to go out that way is not cool. You know, so coming with this fight now, I have more than enough time to prepare. You know, and the difference between that fight and this fight is I have time to prepare. You know, if you watch any one of my fights on my track record besides Dubois, either I knock you out or I dominate and I beat your ass. You know, so with this fight I have time to prepare. You know, and they called me about the Andy fight, and I was like, oh, gee, that's one of the bros, you know. So, you know, I picked the phone up, you know, so they called me, and I called Andy, and I said, you know, Brody, I'm like, yo, did I have permission to kick your butt, you know? And he's like, he's like, man, you know, listen, man, I want to fight, man. I want to fight bad. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, you know, let's two brothers go in there, we bang it out, man. And, you know, it's nothing but love. It's no animosity between me and Andy. It's just business, you know. And I told him, no matter what happens after fight night, you're still taking me fishing, bro. So I don't want to hear that. But, like I said, this is boxing, man, and it's a great card to be on. You know, I can't wait to go in there and just do what I do best, man, and that's kick ass, you know. And, you know, this is my last fight with Sleater Promotions, and we're going to keep it cordial, we're going to keep it respectful, and we're going to get the job done, you know. And after that, you know, me and Eddie going to go out for a pint, you know. But like I said, man, it's great to be home. Great to see my friends and family out here in New York City. But at the same time, you got to keep things in aspect when it comes to boxing and the politics. You know, even though we're doing a press conference in New York, you know, we're doing a fight in LA, which is Andy Ruiz's background, you know, his hometown. So, you know, I'm going to be fighting not just him that night. So I'm going in there. I'm motivated. Looking at a couple options in training camp right now. I'm not going to say where exactly, but best believe this. I'm going to kill myself in camp. I'm not no journeyman. I'm not no mother effing stepping stone. I come to seek and destroy and hurt things. So I can't wait for August 3rd. And thank you guys for tuning in and showing up. There's no shit talking today, guys. I'm sorry. You know, there's not that kind of opponent. You know.
We have time. There's still a few months left.
I mean, listen. I don't know, man. I gotta figure out a punchline or something. I don't know. Maybe it's like the battle of fast food, the Kilo Taco Bell versus the Burger King. You know what I mean? So, you know,
that's a good start.
Best man wins, you know. But like I said, man, it's nothing but love, man. It's awesome. I think me and him is gonna have fun. You know, I think we're gonna feel each other out the first round or two. And you know, that's how sometimes fights start. But the minute he punched me and I punched him, all that shit go out the door, you know. So, like I said, it's gonna be a fun fight. And I can't wait, you know what I mean? And it's great. And be right back where I'm supposed to be. And it's going to put us right back in the top 3, top 2, and big opportunities to come.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic fight. I think everyone excited about that one.
Yeah.
Eddie, a bit of a surreal moment for you in the middle. Obviously, Andy Ruiz fought AJ. It was supposed to be Jarrell Miller fighting AJ right here in New York. This must feel strange to be in between both of them.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, look, Jarrell Miller was supposed to fight AJ. Obviously, you know, that fight didn't take place. Andy Cruz slid in my DMs. He got the chance of a lifetime and broke our hearts at Madison Square Garden. You know, we got the win in Riyadh. Andy Ruiz needs to get back in this game, and to do it in Los Angeles in front of 22,000 people, it's going to be a brilliant fight.
Yeah, so many fantastic fighters on this card. One of the best, without a shadow of a doubt, is David Morrell, who has been, I think, one of the best 168-pounders for a long time. Unable to get the big fights, moving up to 175 pounds now. Why the move to 175? Is it just because right now the 168 division is locked in?
I'm coming for 175 because and anybody no secret for nothing, like anybody wants to scream me, you know. So I'm waiting for 175 for this. Like I am follow Benavides too, you know. Like everything's possible, like for everybody here, you know. For him, like this guy, thanks him. Thanks Turkey, like for the opportunity, like for here, you know, here in New York. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but like Sorry.
No, your English is good.
My bad. Respondiendo a tu pregunta, o sea, estamos en camino a los 75 por eso, you know.
Who's translating that?
Yeah, basically, he's saying, he's going up to 175 to 168. We tried every guy in the top division. Nobody wanted to fight him. It looks like everybody, all the fights are going to be at 75 now. With Bilbia and Bivol, Benavides going up in weight, and with Morel, I think they're all going to end up fighting each other. That's the reason I got to thank Hajsi Turki for making this happen, Dr. Khan, for making the best fights. It would never happen if this wouldn't have happened. So I'm very proud to be here at this table and for to make something great like this happen.
Good luck on August 3rd, David Morel. I want to speak to this man right at the end there. One of the most skilled fighters in the world, fantastic amateur record. Now 3-0 as a pro, looking to go 4-0. Andy Cruz. Andy, thank you so much for being here. You've made it look easy so far. This will be a bigger test though on August 3rd.
Has tenido un fantástico comienzo de tu carrera profesional con 3 peleas, 3 victorias y tienes otra gran oportunidad y una dura prueba el 3 de agosto contra Antonio Morán, un oponente con mucha experiencia. ¿Cómo te sientes con este enfrentamiento?
Bueno, primeramente, buenas tardes. Agradecerles a todos los presentes acá porque van a ser testigos, ¿no?, de un evento épico. Decirles que estoy feliz de estar aquí. Agradezco mucho esta gran oportunidad. Siempre, desde que llegué aquí a Estados Unidos, me preparé mentalmente para eventos como este y agradezco la oportunidad contra un rival al que no conozco mucho, pero no subestimo a nadie. Todos los rivales en el boxeo son fuertes, y decirles que voy con todas y van a ser testigos de un evento histórico por parte de Andy Cruz y por parte de todos los peleadores acá, que son de los mejores del mundo.
Firstly, good afternoon to everyone here. I'm so happy to be here for this opportunity, and I've been preparing this for a very long time since coming here. I prepared for moments like this. I don't know my opponent very well, but I don't underestimate anyone. I'm going with everything I have, and it's going to be a historic event.
Final one. Eddie's said from the very beginning that he would put you in a world title fight right away. If you come through August 3rd, are you comfortable fighting anyone at 135 pounds?
Su promotor, Eddie Hearn, cree que estás listo para un título mundial. ¿Estás confortable enfrentar cualquier persona a 135 libras?
Por supuesto que sí. Vine a pelear contra los mejores y demostrar de que estoy hecho, de que nada de lo que he ganado en mi vida ha sido regalado, y decirle que a los mejores de la división que voy por ello.
Of course, I came to fight the best and show what I'm really made of.
Eddie, me and you've spoken so much about Andy Cruz. You've said you'll put him in against anyone, whether it be Pitbull when he was at 135, whether it be Shakur Stevenson. Why do you believe in him so much?
I think he proved his quality as an amateur Olympic gold medalist, and in the professional code we've seen him breeze through guys that you'd normally take on in your 15th, 16th fight and never lose a round. He's had stoppages as well. Bosie's doing a tremendous job with him, with Jarrell in camp there in Philadelphia. And like a lot of these fighters, David Morel the same. They're willing to face anybody. The challenge is making sure that you can make the fights. And now we have a real test in Antonio Moran on August 3rd, a Mexican that loves to come forward, has fought some top guys. And I believe Andy Cruz will be ready to fight for the World Championship this year.
Thank you, Eddie. Riyadh season has all been about giving fighters opportunities, and I think if you followed Riyadh season, some fighters have taken them. Joseph Parker beating Deontay Wilder was a big one. This young man has a massive opportunity, and that is Jose Valenzuela, who's coming off a fantastic win against Chris Colbert. I think you actually beat him back-to-back, but you got the stoppage win last time out. Big opportunity against a man that a lot of people are avoiding in Isaac Cruz. Was there any hesitation in taking the fight?
First and foremost, I'd like to thank God, Al Heyman, PBC, for this great opportunity. And no, I was in camp already getting ready for Edwin. This big opportunity presented itself, and I took it, no questions asked. It's been a dream of mine since I was 10 to become world champion, and what better than to do it with a Mexican countryman, Isaac Cruz.
You are a 135er. You will be moving up to 140 for this one. Happy? That means you can have a couple of extra meals in the lead up to the fight, or was you always going to go to 140?
Lately, I've been eating a bit more in the gym, and I've been feeling great, more energy, more power. So I'm big for the 35 division. So I think this is the move I needed that I didn't even know.
Let's speak to your opponent, the Pitbull, Isaac Ruiz. Firstly, Isaac, congratulations. I can see the gold right there. You're now a world champion. How does it feel to be a world champion?
Esta es tu primera vez sentado en un estrado como campeón del mundo. ¿Cómo se siente ser campeón del mundo?
Bueno, antes que nada, muy agradecido con Dios por darme nuevamente la oportunidad de presentarme a Al Haymon, a PBC, a Excellency Turkey, y muy agradecido con todos por el regreso y muy contento de enfrentar ahora a Rayo Valenzuela y ahora como nuevo campeón del mundo.
You've had so many different style of opponents over the years, and you seem to have handled them all very well. What do you make of Valenzuela as an opponent stylistically for you?
¿Cómo se siente ser un oponente como Valenzuela con su estilo?
Para eso nos vamos a preparar, para descifrar el plan de trabajo para Rayo Valenzuela y darle una gran noche a toda la gente de Los Ángeles.
I've been preparing a lot to confront him and really give a great show to all the people of Los Angeles.
Obviously, I know you and your team won't look past Valenzuela, but there are so many fighters calling you out. Devin Haney is still the WBC champion. Ryan Garcia has called you out as well. Is there a dream fight that you think of for the next year?
Devin Haney sigue siendo campeón en 140 libras, pero últimamente Ryan García también te ha estado criticando. ¿Te interesa a ti una de esas peleas o tienes otra pelea en que sueñas?
A mí me gustaría hacer todo tipo de peleas con todos los grandes nombres, pero ahorita mi mente está enfocada en ganarle a Rayo Valenzuela y mi promotor Sean Gibbons se va a encargar de que se puedan dar esas grandes peleas.
I'm ready for all types of fights with all the best fighters, but right now I'm really focused on Valenzuela, and I trust my promoter Sean Gibbons to give me the best fights that I can.
Sean, you're nodding. You obviously agree. You like his answer. Again, I said at the top, you've had so many fantastic fighters. I mean, this guy you've got here, I mean, his nickname is actually very true. It's the way he fights. He is a pit bull. You must feel good that you've got something special here.
Yeah, we're very blessed, very blessed that Manny Pacquiao Promotions had never worked with a Hispanic fighter before, and Isak was the first one we signed, and we've been very, very pleased. Stylistically wise, it doesn't get more exciting than an Isak Cruz fight.
I feel so bad throwing the question to you. I forgot about your throat. I do apologise, Sean. Look, before we face the fighters off, that is obviously not the end of the undercard. Eddie mentioned it. There is an absolute blockbuster showdown between Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Australia's former world champion Tim Tszyu, which makes it, as you said, Eddie, I think one of the best cards we've seen for years in the US. Right, the fighters are going to face off. We're going to throw it back to Chris Mannix and Sean Porter.